was just looking outside because we'd had rain, and it was suddenly beautiful once the rain stopped. You know, the sun came out, and I thought, oh, I can do a video. And of course the character Colette's thinking, well, what am I going to talk about? So I thought, okay, there's an awareness of the identity Colette, thinking, well, what am I going to talk about? But I don't have to engage that. I can just come out and talk without having to know what I'm going to talk about. Because effortless being, spontaneous action is our true nature. It's just like everything here in this garden. It's all just appearing. It's all just dancing and catching the sunlight. It all just is. I wonder if I can show you without messing this up. Ooh, I might be able to. It's all just dancing in the wind. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And that is, oops, not very well done, but you get my drift. It's just spontaneously there. It's just appearing. Life has just created it for the sake of creating, for the sake of being. And that's our nature. As far as the grasp I've got of this dropping of the individual identity and operating as just what's happening, just spontaneously reacting, spontaneously in the moment, spontaneously here, just this, with no agenda, nothing to do, nothing to get, nothing to claim. So in practical terms, for somebody who is seeking their true nature, seeking just to end suffering, I would offer that it's about identification, and was what caused my suffering to end, because I was identifying with the thoughts in my head. And when you identify, I am frustrated, I am not in control, I am fed up, I am tired, I am. You see, the I am creates the suffering. That initial I am ticket to suffer is claimed as the separate person. But actually, if you can see, you're always aware of this. When you're saying, I'm suffering, I hate this, it's awful, you're aware of it because you're able to recall it and tell people it. So there's always awareness of. So if you change the language to, there's an awareness of suffering, there's an awareness of pain, there's an awareness of just what's happening. You've taken away the personalization of it, and there's now a neutrality to it. And the identification is seen at some point when you use that language. It's like, oh, there's an awareness of. There's awareness of, not I am aware, there's an awareness of. It brings you back to your true nature. It brings you back to prior to that identification. So you can even say there's an experience of. I was driving today and it was throwing it down with rain, and there was thunder and lightning, and the windscreen wipers were going like crazy. So in using impersonal language, there is awareness of. And I was just like, wow, there's just an awareness of. I'm not driving. I'm not battling against the rain and the huge puddles. I live in the countryside, so there's like huge, massive puddles, and I wasn't doing any of that. There's an experience of a thunderstorm. There's an experience of drama, as an experience of just experiencing, as an experience of an experience. So it's using that impersonal language, which I learnt from David Bingham, to see the truth that it's just experience. And what is experiencing? What is it? Maybe have a look at that. What is experiencing? If it's not the I person against everything in the world, what is experiencing? So what's experiencing? I'm just trying to feel into what is experiencing. I think it's that thing that you can't talk about. So what's experiencing in practical terms is awareness is aware of everything. So I am aware becomes there is awareness, becomes awareness, aware of awareness. It sounds really complicated. So let's just stick with there is awareness. There is awareness of sounds. There is an awareness of the sun going in. There is an awareness of the clouds. There is awareness of sounds. I think I might have said that before, but what happens is when you bring it to the awareness is aware, it just takes it that bit deeper, and then for me there seems to be an expansion, and then everything is impersonal and the sounds just are. It's not me hearing the sounds, the gap goes. So there is just sounds experienced, not by a person. The sight seen, not by a person. And what's here is this, just what's in the moment now. So I've talked about this opening up your focus before and dropping into your body, because that's such a good way of experiencing just this, just what's happening. And then as you rest as awareness, so this opening up and dropping down, because you're dropping out of your head. Because we feel like we're centered in our head, so we drop more into the body, into the heart space, into the center of the chest. And in fact, I was doing yoga the other day, and I really didn't like, and I've still obviously had some identification, because I didn't like that feeling of competitiveness in a big class and the seeking approval from the teacher to get everything right, or not to be the best, but to that performer in me was there, and I really don't like it. It's less, but I could still feel it. I was like, wow. And then I dropped into my heart center, and then I felt like I almost didn't move. So I was doing the poses, but I was completely centered into my heart center. So this bit didn't move. Where I was centered didn't move, and everything else was just an extension of that. So for me, that heart center is such a great place to be in the world, because you're very centered. You're very aware. So I thought I'd offer that up in case that helps anybody. So it really is, all of this is just what's happening. The sun in my eyes, the only reason the sun in my eyes would be a problem would be if I made it about me, if there was an I that didn't like the sun in their eyes. But there is no sense of, at this point here, there's no sense of an I that doesn't like the sun in their eyes. It's because the identity is dropped away, and there is just sun. There is just the experience of sun in my eyes. There is the experience of sun in my eyes. No I don't like it, or it's too bright for me, it just takes away the personal experience. You're still experiencing, but not from a level of singular, not from a level of bound, not from a level of me in the world against everything, everything against me, from just experiencing, from aware of just what's happening. Hope this helps.